I'm Shafiq Qureshi. Reading in IELTS is very important module, and there are different questions in the reading module which really create a lot of trouble for the students or for the participants who wish to take examinations of IELTS. One among these questions is yes, no, and not given question. So you see that in reading passage, there is the first paragraph, which is the introductory paragraph. What has to be discussed in the entire passage is first introduced in the first paragraph. For example, in the first paragraph, it has been mentioned that the census was conducted in certain country. For example, to just mention the name of the country, for instance, Pakistan. And the number of people who are inhabiting in this country, they are found to be these numbers. So it means that in the rest of the passage, we would be looking for the informations which are directly related with the census, number of people who are living in this country, and when the census was conducted. And for example, we have been told that in the introductory part of the passage, it has been told that the different problems are faced by, there are different certain number of problems which are faced by the students of universities in Punjab. So when we just talk about, when we read the rest part of the text, we'll just focus upon the things which are already been introduced in the introductory part of the text, which means we'll talk about the universities in Punjab and the students and the problems faced by the students. So in the question, for example, if I just focus upon the yes, no, and not given question, the first prerequisite, the first important thing is to carefully read the question. This is very important thing that I should. So in the course of the text, when I just go for the rest part of the text, for example, there are so many paragraphs, could be any number of paragraphs, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 paragraph, which are part of the main body. And then there is a concluding part, which is called conclusion. In the main body, you see that different informations would be given about the census, C-E-N-S-U-S, census. And the things will only focus upon the things. We have to actually, first of all, identify the keywords and the phrases. We just look at the keywords and the phrases in the question, and we can just underline them, or we can write them on the piece of paper. Then what we have to do? We have to go for skimming and scanning. We'll scan through the text. We'll scan through the paragraphs just to see whether the informations which are given here, they are directly related with the question. They are according to the question. Because in the course of the text, along with the relevant text, along with the relevant material, we may come across irrelevant things. Maybe they are talking about the educational problems and they just mix it with some informations which have got nothing to do with the education. For example, some information is given that most of the students at certain period of time, they just collectively go out of the university, premises of the university, and they sit in the cafes or in the cafes or in the restaurants, and they gossip for many, many hours. So this is not the information we are going to deal with. But on the other hand, for example, if This information is given that most of the students, when they just go to the libraries, certain books are not available to the students which they want to read or consult. So this is one of the problems. This is part of the text. This is part of the context. This is part of the context. So we'll just have to, so this text would be a mixture of relevant things, irrelevant things, contradictory things. Contradictory mean which are directly opposite to the things which actually we are dealing with. So different things are given there, and there are certain things which are quite unnecessary. For example, examples are quoted and they are quite unnecessary. We have got nothing to do. So you see that certain informations or relevant informations only is the part of the context, only is the theme we are looking for. We just scan through the passage, and when we scan through the passage according to the keywords which are given in the question, so this is called the relevant informations. We have to ultimately decide whether the statement in the question directly agrees with the text. If it directly agrees with the text, if it is exactly according to the context, if it is according to the keywords which are given in the question, so this statement would be yes. If it is exactly relevant according to the point and according to the question, and relevant things are there, so this is called yes. But if it contradicts, it is no. For example, in the same case, the same census was conducted in the United States last year. Or, for example, we talk about the universities in the Punjab. Some example is quoted from the Russia. That on the other hand, if we go to the Russia, they're also students, they are passing through these sort of troubles. So that's not the point. But apparently students get confused that these are part of the text, this is part of the text, this is part of the context. Actually, this would become relevant. If something contradicts, it is no. And if relevant informations are not given or same information is not mentioned, so this would become not given. If the same informations are not given in the passage. For example, I just quoted one example that we have got nothing to do with the students in Russia or in the United States, because in the very beginning, in the introductory part, in the introduction, it has already been discussed that the students' problems, universities, and Punjab, in the Punjab only. So we are concerned with the things which are related to the universities in Punjab. We are concerned with the students who are studying in the universities of different universities in Punjab. We have got nothing to do with the Russian universities or Russian students or the students of the United States. These examples could be quoted there. So this would become irrelevant. This is not part of the statement. So this is not part of the text. This is not part of the context. So definitely this would become not given. So always base your answer on evidence, not on assumptions or speculations. No speculations, no assumptions. Evidence, direct evidence. We have to go for the direct evidence. So this is how you can answer the question yes, no, and not given answer, which is an inevitable part of reading in IELTS.